What's up, guys? My name is Ryan with Horton Barbell, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about 14 inverted row variations and alternatives that you can put into your workout program. They're a bodyweight exercise that are very beginner friendly, but also can be very challenging even for advanced lifters. But sometimes inverted rows just aren't an option. You may not have the proper equipment, or maybe you're just trying to add some variety to your workouts. Whatever the case may be, hopefully one of these 14 variations and alternatives that I'm about to go over fits for what you need. So first, let's talk about some inverted row variations. So there's a lot of ways that we can take the inverted row itself and we can make it either more beginner friendly or we can make it more challenging for more advanced lifters. If you need to make your inverted rows a little bit easier, the easiest way to do that is simply by just bending your legs. By bending your legs and putting your feet down on the ground, you're going to take more weight off of your upper body and it's going to make those inverted rows easier. So if you're struggling with inverted rows, bend your knees, put your feet on the ground, and that's going to help you get started and help you start to build that strength. Now, on the flip side of that, if inverted rows have kind of lost their challenge a little bit and you're able to lay down and easily knock out 15, 20 reps at a time, there's a couple different ways that you can make the inverted row a little bit more challenging. The first way is to elevate your feet. So if you use a bench, just throw your feet up on a bench, and that's actually going to put more weight onto your upper body, and it's going to make those inverted rows a little bit more challenging. And if you want a real challenge, instead of a bench, put your feet up on a stability ball. Stability ball is going to actually add balance. It's going to add stability to it. It's going to make it unbalanced for you. And it's going to be more challenging not only to your back, but it's going to be more challenging to your core muscles as well to be able to brace and stabilize as you row. Now, the other ways that we can make it more challenging as well is to literally just add resistance. Take a weight plate, lay it on your chest, a dumbbell, lay it on your chest, and by adding more resistance, a weighted vest works as well. By adding more resistance, you're going to make the workout, you're going to make the exercise more challenging. And the last way that we can make inverted rows more challenging is by controlling the tempo of the lift. So instead of just kind of coming up and down with your reps, slow down the reps, slow down the tempo of the exercise. So what this would look like is you're going to start at the bottom, you're going to do a 1 count on the way up, and then you're going to do a 1, 2, 3 count on the way down. And what that's going to do, it's going to add more time under tension. All right, so it's going to make your muscles work longer throughout the set. And that's going to make the overall set, once you get to about 7, 8 reps in, you're really going to feel the difference. It's going to make those inverted rows a lot more challenging. So now let's get into some inverted row alternatives. So either you don't have the equipment, you don't have a squat rack, you don't have a barbell maybe to do those inverted rows, or you're just tired of doing inverted rows and you're looking for something different to change up your workout. The first one is going to be a TRX row. So TRX row can be done with a TRX band. It can also be done with gym rings if you have gym rings and some straps that you can put on either a squat rack or you can put on anchors on a wall, a door, a lot of different ways to set up that TRX. But it's going to be literally, it's going to look exactly like an inverted row. It's going to work like an inverted row. It's going to have the same benefits of an inverted row. It's just done with a different piece of equipment if maybe you don't have a barbell to be able to hang on to do your inverted rows. So the next alternative is one of my favorite upper body exercises, and that is pull-ups. So pull-ups and inverted rows have a lot of similarities. They're both body weight exercises that are going to help you build a stronger back. And a lot of people kind of consider the pull-ups being the more advanced version of inverted rows. Now there's a little bit of difference between the two. Pull-ups is a vertical pull, while inverted rows is more of a horizontal pull, but both are going to do a tremendously great job of help building a stronger back. So the next alternative is going to be another horizontal row. It is a barbell bent over row. So a barbell bent over row is another excellent back exercise. It's a horizontal row. It does a tremendous job at building back strength. So if you want something a little bit different than an inverted row, something that you can add weight to and you can take the resistance as high as you want, a barbell bent over row is a great inverted row alternative. Another horizontal row using a different piece of equipment is the dumbbell one-arm row. Dumbbell one-arm row is going to be a very similar movement pattern as the barbell bent over row, just with a dumbbell instead. And what the dumbbell also allows you to do, since you're only using one arm at a time, is you can take that opposite hand, opposite arm, and you can help brace yourself, which takes a lot of the stress and a lot of the strain off your low back as you row. One of my favorite rowing exercises for building a really strong back is the dumbbell one-arm row. So now if you really want to add a challenge to not only your back, but your core as well, Renegade rows is an excellent inverted row alternative. So with Renegade rows, you're actually going to put a dumbbell in each hand, you're going to jump into a push-up position, and you're going to row one arm at a time. So not only are you working your back, but it's a tremendous exercise for working on your core as well, and even shoulder stabilization, because you're gonna have to balance yourself on the one arm as you're rowing with the opposite arm. So if you wanna take a back exercise and turn it into almost a full body exercise, Renegade rows is a great alternative. So if you really wanna mix up your workouts and you really wanna do something a little bit different, a little bit outside the box, try hex bar rows. So a hex bar, also known as a trap bar, is an exercise that you can do with that trap bar, stand inside of it, grab the handles, and you're gonna hinge your hips flat back just like you did with the barbell bent over row, but you're gonna row with the trap bar instead. Awesome exercise for adding some real variety to your upper body training. So I don't have any machines in my garage gym, but if I did, the first one that I would go out and buy is a hammer ISO low row. It's one of my all-time favorite machines, and if you have access to one of them, if your gym has a low row machine in it, a hammer ISO low row, or any kind of a heavy horizontal machine row, it can be a great alternative for inverted rows. So we already talked about dumbbell one-arm rows. If you want to do a dumbbell version of a horizontal row, but using both arms at the same time, you can do chest supported rows. So you're going to take an adjustable bench, you're going to pop it at about 45 degrees, put your chest on that bench to support yourself, support your back, and you're gonna go just like a one-arm row, but you're gonna be able to row both dumbbells at the same time. If you don't have access to a whole lot of equipment, let's say you're on the road and all you have is your resistance band with you, you can go band rows to be an alternative for inverted rows. So a band row, all you need is a resistance band, hook it around something sturdy. You can even sit down, hold your legs straight out in front, hook it around your feet, and you can sit up tall and you can go horizontal rows with a band row to replace those inverted rows. So the final alternative that I've got for inverted rows is using a lat pull down. So with a lat pull down machine, if you want to really simulate that inverted row, lean back just a little bit more than you normally would with a lat pull down to make it more of a horizontal row and not a vertical row. And you can use different attachments, the long bar, you can use the triangle bar, any of those bars with a lat pull down can be a great substitution for inverted rows. And that's it. So there's 10 alternatives along with 4 other variations for inverted rows. So hopefully no matter what equipment you have access to or no matter what your situation is, hopefully one of those exercises worked out for you. If it did, do me a huge favor, go down and hit the like button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. It also helps me know that videos like this are helping you guys with your workouts and your workout planning. And then make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. Until next time.